Yo, y'all give me a mic check. Let me know y'all can hear me. Somebody give me a mic check. Let me know y'all can hear me. If you can hear me. Yo. Alright, cool. Yo. Alright. Alright, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Good morning, good evening. Whatever you watching my content. And as always, like, comment, subscribe, and share. Alright. So again, y'all know lately I've been touching on heavy with this CPS stuff with a lot of y'all. And again, the more I go into this subject, the more I see that the rabbit hole goes deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. So just so happened today, run across this story that I'm going to share with y'all right now. That again, a man has had something happen to him dealing with the adoption agency. His daughter was put in that agency without his permission. So if I'm using that term right, that happened illegally, and he fought and got custody of his child. Now, I'm surprised nobody didn't send me this story because I didn't know nothing about it until I found it earlier today. So let's get right into it. And as always, I want to see if I can reach out to this man and see if I can bring him on the show, because I would love to know what happened and how his child ended up in that situation. So this guy we're going to talk about right here, his name is also Chris. His name is Christopher EMANUEL. I don't know what his daughter's name right now, but I guess we're going to get into all that once I get into the story. He's an advocate for fathers fighting to get custody of their kids or something to that nature. He's an advocate for it. And I think we need more men like him, because y'all heard what Trish said when I did the last show, that when it comes to a system like this, men got to jump through loops and hoops, just to get custody of their children. I think that's sad that men have to go through all that just to have some kind of relationship with their son or their dad. And the fact that this happened, this is sad. What's up, my Santa Fe buddy? What's going on, babe? How you doing? So, oh shit, what up, Pat? Long time, bro. Yeah. Well, Pat, I don't go live as much as I used to, bro. But I try to dib and dab here and there, man. Good to see you, bro. Good to see you. So, all right, guys. So, without further ado, let's get right into this right here. And I think the notification finally going out because it's coming across my screen now. So I guess y'all will slowly trickle on up in here. But if not, you always got to replay everything that's going down. you know. So all right, without further ado, let's hear what went on with this man. And wow, this is crazy, you know, that shit like this can happen right under your nose. Let's listen, guys.
Well, February is the month of love. It's a time we bring out the cards, candy, and make dinner reservations. For others, it's a moment to simply be grateful for the people in our lives. But sometimes a love we never knew can bring us the greatest joy. I talked with the father who went to great lengths for the love of his family.
I didn't know if she was safe. I didn't know if I would ever see her again.
Christopher EMANUEL is talking about his daughter, Skylar.
You know, I always said I wanted to be a great dad.
But his dreams of being a dad turned into a nightmare after his girlfriend placed their newborn daughter up for adoption without telling him.
I was lost, man. I was hurt. I was confused because I wanted to ensure that I could be there for my child.
Christopher fought back, turning to the court system in Aiken County where Skylar was born.
This was my opportunity to prove that, and I was deprived of that. You know, my Constitution and my state rights were violated.
Under South Carolina law, unwed fathers can sign up on the Responsible Fatherhood Registry. It's an online database through DSS that lets the state know that you fathered a child. Pat Littlejohn is the president of the advocacy group South Carolina Center for Fathers and Families.
Before rights are terminated to allow an adoption to occur, attorneys as well as the Department of Social Services will check this registry. And if his name is on there, he must be notified.
Christopher registered, adding the name of Skylar's mother, making it mandatory that he would be notified if she put the child up for adoption. And that's exactly what she did. Court documents show that Christopher added his name on the registry on February 4th. However, the adopted parents filed the motions on February 19th to adopt Skylar. Christopher was not added on that documentation as a biological father, even though he was listed as such on the registry. But under South Carolina law, someone living in another state can adopt a baby born here only under unusual or exceptional circumstances. Under the South Carolina Children's Code, a biracial child like Skylar fell under that category. Therefore, the adoption, in part, was able to go forward.
Wow. My daughter was in San Diego, California, with a prospective adoptive couples, where her name was changed, where I have medical documentation calling my daughter another name, but she was never legally adopted.
Christopher kept the faith and contested the adoption. Court records showed that his paternal rights were terminated without his permission. At one point, he and his lawyers were willing to adopt his own daughter back. After almost a year, a judge sided with him. Baby Skylar was sent back to South Carolina, and the courts granted Christopher sole custody of his daughter.
Aiken County Judicial Center. This is where it went down at, man. But when I'm here, being in this space, it fills me with joy. I feel safe because Aiken County brought my daughter home where she belongs.
Well, as it relates to the adoption code, I spoke with State Senator Katrina Shealy. She says when the adoption code was originally written years ago, it was more of an issue with the public's willingness to adopt children of mixed race or children with disabilities. Now, the reason the out-of-state option for these children was added to the code was to give these children a better chance to find a forever home. She adds, with changing times, this code probably needs to be reviewed and updated.
A lot of reaction coming in after the news of Tiger's car crash. Officials tonight saying that wreck could have been deadly.
Pat, you say you down there, you say it's crazy because you in South Carolina there. You actually have to register as a dad to not let your kid get shipped off nowhere. And that to me is crazy. Yeah, that is crazy, bro. That is crazy. And the fact that this happened to this man the way that he did. They changed the baby name and everything, and what they said on the section of the biracial child. What the fuck? What's really going on? You know. And she looks happy with him. She looks real happy with him. I just don't get this at all. And when I saw it, I was just stunned, and I thought it was a joke. I really thought it was a joke, but this shit is real. And then you saw the show I did with Patricia, and you know, this the stuff that she talks about, you know, little shit like this, or how they can do things like this and don't seem like they can get in trouble for it. He said he was fighting through the court for months. He was fighting the courts about this. He didn't know if he would ever see his child again. And of course, he said he wants to be a great dad, but all this turned out, you know, the girlfriend, which I'm assuming is the mom of the child, she put the child up for adoption without telling him. And again, that's the part that get me. How you able to do that and you don't have to tell him anything? That's fucked up. All right. And again, those of y'all who saw I did the interview with Trish, you know, this shit right here, they could do shit like this and get away with it. And I suppose if it could have been a possibility, it was just too late and this man couldn't see his daughter again. Not because of something that he did, but a lot of people probably would have shown him talking about how bad or piss poor of a dad he was. And that's why, you know, she was an adopted sister, or, you know, the girlfriend could have bad-mouthed him and try to tell people that the baby's an adoption sister because of him. He a piss poor dad or whatnot. But I got to give it to this man right here. He did whatever he had to do to get his daughter. Not only that, he got custody of his child. And I'm happy for that. But now I'm wondering now, since the girlfriend did that, what's going to happen to her? Is she going to get away scot clean free with this? Or is there something going to be said about that? All right. He says right here, he fought back, turning to the court system in Aiken County, where Skylar was born. This was my opportunity to prove that I was deprived of that my constitution and state rights were violated. Under South Carolina law, unwed fathers can sign up on the Responsible Fatherhood Registry. It's an online database through DSS that lets the state know that you father a child. Pat Littlejohn is the president of the advocacy group, South Carolina Center for Fathers and Families. Before rights are terminated to allow an adoption to occur, attorneys as well as Department of Social Services will check this registry, and if his name is on there, he must be notified, says Pat Littlejohn. Of course, he said he registered, and the name of Skylar, mother, making it mandatory that he would be notified if she puts the child up for adoption. And that's actually what she did, but he still didn't get notified for what it sounds like. Diddy said court documents show Christopher added his name to the registry on February 4, 2014. However, the adopted parents filed a motion to adopt Skylar, and he was not added on the documentation as the biological father, even though he was listed as such on the registry. But under the South Carolina law, someone living in another state can adopt a baby born here only under unusual or exceptional circumstances. So under the South Carolina Children's Code, a biracial child under the South Carolina Children's Code, a biracial child like Skylar fell under that category. Wow. Therefore, the adoption is in part was able to go forward because she was a biracial child and she fell under that category. Damn, that's sad, man. Hey, Pat, you said he kept calm. Yeah, I'm tripping off that too. You know, you can keep calm after all that. You know, I'll be going berserk. I'll be going berserk on some shit like that, man. That's just foul. That's foul as fuck, man. I think I got something else I want to show too. Get this it. I don't know. Well, this one is a little longer. I don't know if it's the exact same thing or not, but hopefully it gives a little more details of what's going on with this situation. Once I get through playing this ad, I'll put it on over and let y'all see it. Oh, Jesus Christ. Come on now.
Fighting to get his daughter back under extraordinary circumstances. His girlfriend delivered the baby and put her up for adoption without telling him. My Nightline co-anchor Juju Chang shows us what this dad did next and how his actions are shining a light on the issue of father's rights.
Sometimes all you can do is cry, you know? That's all you can do.
Unlike many fathers, when Chris Emanuel remembers his daughter's birth, it fills him with pain.
Missing out on the first moments of my daughter's life, not seeing that first touch, that first hug. You can't put it into words of how you feel. You know, you can only but imagine.
He missed those precious moments because his girlfriend secretly gave birth without telling him, texting him this picture of her baby bump 8 days after she delivered.
All of them were lies.
And there was another agonizing twist. She'd already put baby Skylar up for adoption without his permission.
What went through your mind?
Is she safe? And not knowing, you know, where my daughter is and who got her, you can only but imagine how I felt.
And so began a harrowing legal battle for Emanuel to win his baby girl back, navigating the thorny legalities of father's rights, all while Skylar's living with an adopted family.
My daughter was stole from me, so I asserted my rights, but my rights were stripped of me.
It was 3 years ago when Emanuel met Skylar's mom at work. He now refers to her sarcastically as the egg donor. He says they started off as friends before it escalated into something more.
This is where me and the egg donor actually met. We worked at a manufacturing company driving forklifts. I love the fact that she would communicate, her communication skills.
They texted all the time, affectionate messages, soon turning flirtatious. And 3 months later, Emanuel was overjoyed to learn he was going to be a dad.
I was happy. Who wouldn't be happy? You know, this is my first child. And at that time, I was like, you know, I'm going to be here. You know, we're going to do everything we got to do. You know, talked about moving in. Well, let me meet your parents. I want your parents to, you know, see the type of person I am.
After a long-awaited meeting between both families, Emanuel says he knew in no uncertain terms her parents were dead set against him, even accusing the family of racism.
Hearing racism, but actually feeling it is totally different. It's like being punched in the stomach. When we left, she reassured me that we would continue to, you know, raise our child together.
Her mother says Emanuel is a liar. She says she disapproved of their relationship not because of the color of his skin, but because he didn't have a job. Emanuel says his girlfriend started to avoid meeting in person, asking him to skip doctor's appointments.
She was saying that her mom was coming and I didn't need to come. Like, well, dang, why can't I come to the doctor appointment? If I can't come to the doctor appointment, I can't even think about being there to witness my child's birth.
Her behavior raised red flags for Emanuel's tight-knit family. 6 months before Skylar's birth, his half-sister and her best friend suspected his girlfriend might give the baby away.
I said, I don't think the egg donor's keeping the baby. He was like, you know, no, she is. We're going to get married and we're moving in together. And they had plans. And I said, okay, but I still went home and started researching, started looking up father's rights in South Carolina.
Here's what she found. South Carolina is one of at least 25 states that has what's called a responsible father registry. Unwed dads can sign up to be notified if their child is put up for adoption, but very few people even know about the list. In Emanuel's home state, 30,000 children were born out of wedlock, yet less than 300 men signed up. The problem is, if you don't register, you could end up losing your parental rights.
And it can be used by lawyers for
prospective adoptive parents to say, well, the person hasn't filed, hasn't put their name on the list, then we're free and clear to move forward with this adoption.
At first, Emmanuel didn't want to sign the registry, but when his girlfriend failed to show up at a family planned baby shower, he got nervous.
He called me up one day and he was like, hey sis, well, what was that website that you and Jill were telling me about? And he said, I'm gonna do it right now.
Days later, a knock on the door and shocking news. Papers showing Emmanuel's girlfriend had given birth almost a week earlier and had given their daughter to an adoptive family in another state.
Only thing that mattered was me getting my daughter.
Emmanuel refuses to give up his parental rights and immediately confronts his girlfriend, who admits the deception. You misled me, you played me, you lied to me numerous times. I can't take back what I've done. Emmanuel rushes to contest the adoption and hires attorneys Kamaki Nichols-Graham and Jennifer Mook.
How critical was the fact that he had registered? If he hadn't signed up for the registry, he would have never known about this. There would have been no other recourse. He would have had no way of knowing.
In an ironic twist, it's baby Skylar's mixed race that gave Emmanuel's girlfriend a loophole. An old South Carolina law only allows difficult to adopt children to be sent across state lines. Only kids 6 or older or with physical, mental, or emotional disabilities. Or in Skylar's case, mixed race.
What dad is not supposed to be there for their child? The greatest aspect a child can have is their father's protection.
But the out-of-state adoptive couple were lied to as well, told the baby's father was out of the picture. They sent Emmanuel a heartfelt email describing it as a last plea from desperate adoptive parents who love Skylar with all of our hearts, assuring him that she will go to the best schools.
What was your reaction to them?
Nobody can love my daughter the way I can. You can't take me from my daughter. Give me my daughter, that's all that mattered.
Although she wouldn't talk to ABC News, in a letter to the court, Emmanuel's girlfriend said she felt that he could not provide for them and that Skylar would be better off with the adoptive parents in a loving, devoted, and stable home.
How tough a fight is that for an unwed father?
It's surprisingly hard to prove that they wanted the child. There used to be this presumption that if you wanted to be a father, you'd be married.
What Emmanuel did have were pages and pages of texts that he says prove he was an engaged and devoted dad-to-be, and that his then-girlfriend deliberately lied to him about his daughter's birth. After 3 long months, the court made its decision, granting full custody to Emmanuel. Yay! Now a single dad, raising her with an enthusiastic assortment of aunts, uncles, and grandparents who make up Team Skylar.
All I could do was break down on my knees. I cried and I thank God for bringing my daughter home.
Jennifer Mook says the outcome of Emmanuel's custody battle is rare. She says in most adoption cases, dad's rights are often ignored, which is why Emmanuel is starting a foundation and talking to media outlets like The Atlantic.
We're talking about fundamental rights. The right to parent is a fundamental right. It can be trampled on very easily in these scenarios.
In your opinion, what makes the right family for Skylar?
In my opinion, the biological family should be the first choice to raise children if they're fit and willing. I don't think somebody who has money is going to raise a child better than somebody who doesn't.
2 weeks after the judge granted Emmanuel custody, the adoptive parents reluctantly brought baby Skylar back to South Carolina.
My baby.
What was it like to hold your daughter for the first time?
I felt her breath for the first time, seeing her eyes, seeing her touch. It was like I lost a part of me. I felt whole again, having my daughter for the first time where she's supposed to be. It's a moment that is irreplaceable.
For Nightline, I'm Juju Chang in Aiken, South Carolina.
Wow.
Latest on Jason Patrick's bitter custody battle. He wants to be a father to the child conceived.
I'm gonna be honest, this is one story that I'd have done that I'm actually speechless. I don't know what to say to actually do a story and to see this happen right here in front of my face like this. Everybody who I'd have talked to about the story dealing with the DCFS, the Child Protective Services, And this, that, there, all the interviews I did, including one with Trish, which was a damn good interview. And now to have a story where this actually has happened, that the girlfriend did this to this man, and we don't know the reason why she did it, other than she claimed that she felt like he was unfit. Well, what made you feel like he was unfit? But you feel like he was fit enough to impregnate you. That's I don't get that part right there. He was fit enough to impregnate you, but you didn't think he was fit enough to be a father to the child. I got a big ass question mark right there. How, and that question is, like a lot of us say who are watching this, how the fuck does that work? How the fuck does that work? You been gave birth to the child. The man didn't even know you had gave birth to the child. And you gave it up for adoption. This man didn't know shit. Then you got your mom or whoever the fuck over there talking about they didn't feel like whatever they said, the reason they didn't approve a relationship, you know, I don't know if it's a race issue or not. I don't like to play the race card, so I don't know. Only they know what's the real reason why they didn't approve of the relationship or whatnot. But again, I could say this right here, you know, I'm happy to see a story like this with a good ending like that, that a father, even though he had to jump through hoops and loops, you know, he was able to overcome this adversary. And if I said that right, I don't even know if I said that right. And get custody, and not just custody, he got full custody of his baby girl, and had everything working against him where he could have lost his parental rights to that little child, and that's a damn shame. So, honestly speaking, you know, I'm speechless. I don't know what to say, and that's very real when I'm like that. I don't know what to say. I'm just speechless as fuck. Other than that, as always, I'm gonna see if I can find this man. I'm gonna see if I can reach out to him. I would love to talk to him if I can get him. I'd love to have him on the show. And wow, that's all I can just say. I just keep saying it's wow, you know. And this is why I say, you know, children lives matter. Children lives matter. Congratulations to you, bro. I'm happy for you. And keep doing your thing. I'm sure you're going to be an inspiration for a lot of fathers who going through the same thing. And with this foundation that you got going on, you're going to help other fathers who going through the same thing and help them get custody of their children for mothers who doing bullshit like this, all right? And I'm gonna end it right there, guys. Like I said, I don't have much to say. I'm just gonna end it right there. And this is happy and this is sad at the same time. And I just ain't got much to say. I'm just speechless. I'm your man, Chris Thorns, and I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.